Hey, thanks so much for joining my channel. I apologize for my voice. I have a bit of a man cold. Not the coronavirus, none of that stuff, just your run-of-the-mill cold. So I apologize for my raspy, Demi Moore sounding voice. Anyways, this video is about Auxbeam's LED fog lights for my GT Gladiator Rubicon. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these into my Rugged Ridge Arcus bumper. I'm gonna bring you along for the ride, see how I did it, see how the brackets work, all that stuff. The cool thing that Auxbeam includes with these LED fog lights is it gives you brackets that are already designed to fit with this bumper, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they meant to do that, but it works really well. So I didn't even have to use the Rugged Ridge provided brackets. I used the ones from Auxbeam, excuse me, and it worked awesome. So please enjoy my horrible video, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and let's get to it. All right, so now we're gonna take the remainder of these plastic guys off here, so we can pull this off. Then we're gonna take these guys off. These are 13 mils. Okay, there's 4 of those. So we can get to the wire here, so we can take that off. Then that way we can put on our new fog lights. Let's get to it. All right, so let's get these guys off. I already took some of these off before, and I'm not gonna save these, so I'm just gonna rip them right out. Boop! I got some height. Go. Some more height on that one. There we go, that's one piece off. Super simple, just like the other side. Whoa, I'm just launching these guys. Came out easier. Oh wow, that's actually way easier than trying to launch them like I was doing. Just force the top off and then you're good. My Amazon special wrench here is turning inside the actual thing, so that's, when you're buying these things, make sure you get the right stuff. Amazon's not always the best. All right, so there we go. These are all off. And now I've got my 13 mil here, here, and down the road. We'll get those out right now. All right, so 13 mil bolts. Let's get these guys out. All right, so all this stuff we're gonna need, all this wiring harness stuff, so let's just cut that out of there. I probably need to pop that off here as well, so I'll need my trusty Amazon tool. Pop these off of here. There we go. That's out of there. Do the same thing on this side as well. So I'm gonna do it with one hand. There we go. That's out. I'm free. That's that passenger side one that's gonna go back in once we're done. So you're gonna depress this guy here, pull it out. Same on this side here. You're gonna push that in there with your thumb. Pulls right out. All right, here we go. Now we can pull that metal piece right out. Okay, so now we're gonna pull the metal bumper off this guy. Go. All right, so there's more to it now than what I've seen in other videos. Perfect. Okay, so maybe I wasn't looking at the other videos, other people's, but So then I gotta take these little screws out. There's like a ton of these guys just to get underneath this thing. All right, well, it's 18 mil, so we will start taking these off. I don't know if I'm gonna show the whole video though, because it's probably gonna take a long time to do. So you get the picture as to what I'm doing here. Very, very simple. Wow, so many screws. This is just the driver's side. My goodness. Look at this. Like, so many screws. Wow. And it looks like these two I gotta pull out as well. Look at them all. My God. I think I'm gonna spare you the agony. I'll just do the rest on my own and give you a video after it's all off.
A few minutes later.
All right, so after the tedious work to get this inner plastic piece out, now I've got to go through and just pop these remainder ones off. I'm gonna cut those because those are zip tied, but all the ones like this I'll just pop out. So I've got everything ready to rock. I'll just cut these guys off with my old trusty images. There we go. And there we go. And now that should be all she wrote for this here. There we go. Awesome. I now have my fog light wiring harness or wiring out of the bumper. Beautiful. All right, so now I've switched over to my aux beams, right? These are my aux beam LEDs, the fog light LEDs that are gonna go on to my front bumper on my new Rubicon Gladiator. I've been saving these up until I was ready to do my bumper, but I'm gonna go through this step just to show people how these fit onto the Rugged Ridge Argus front bumper. So what's really neat about these is I've already pulled this one off, right? So this is a tab that just comes right out on your wiring harness, and this allows you, gives you like, you know, just your, I don't know if you can see that, just your red and your black, right? If you were just to run these by yourself without a wiring harness. But the cool thing is, it gives you these guys, this little harness here, which works with the wiring harness that I pulled off my Gladiator. So these actually work in cahoots. See, just line them up, as you can see right here. Let me just get this more focused. There we go. So as you can see, there's like the two hoops up top there. I think you can see that. And then there's these guys here, the two hoops up top. So again, these are just gonna click in. Oh, sorry. Just click in. Okay. All right, maybe not as easy as I thought. There we go. Okay. So you got your one clip on the bottom. You got your two clips up top. You take your stock one and you're gonna link it up to the top here. It'll just slide right in. Boom. There we go. So now you actually got all this hooked up to your stock ones, and this will go into your aux beam. There we go. So moving on from that, now we got to figure out how these brackets from Rugged Ridge work. So let's just grab them, the hardware. And these instructions check out how all this stuff works, because I'm not sure. And these are apparently a bracket to make them work as well onto the bumper. So we will check this out together, figure out how it works, and we'll get it on the bumper. Okay, so now with these 4-inch aux beam ones, I ran into, like, it's a bit weird. So it comes shipped with 2 brackets, right? This is the one you need, unfortunately. So that means this one has to come off. The only way to get it off is you have to undo this screw, which has got a little bit of a spring there. Mine came right off completely, so I had a hell of a time trying to get it back on. I did the the passenger side first, just to see if I could do it. So I'm gonna go through it with you to show you what I'm doing here. So get your trusty screwdriver, and you're gonna loosen this off a little bit because you need enough to be able to pull this thing off. But I'm gonna see if I can do it without taking the whole thing out again, because that sucked. Also, I use a little prying tool here just to get underneath. I wonder if I can do it without, I don't know. Oh, I may have a winner chicken dinner. Without breaking anything. Not really happening. Alright, so I might have to just take it right off again, which is going to suck. See if I can just get it loose enough where it's not going to shoot out. Try and keep the screw in this time. And just maybe pull this. No, there's no way around it, because that's got to pop off. I'm going to have to like, I'll leave the screw in slightly, then maybe it'll make my life easier, but I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Well, I kept that on. Kind of. Not really. Didn't really help me all that much. So when you're putting this bracket back on, you're looking for the JL. That goes on the bottom. Let me just see that. Maybe you can. So all your wires go back through. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the driver's side, so the JL goes on the top, it looks like. Because the wire's on the bottom of this one. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm sorry. So the JL logo, when you're doing the passenger side, the JL is on the top. When you're doing the driver's side, the JL is on the bottom. Now let's see if I can get this on. Well, we can take this off because we don't need that, because we're going to run it with our stock. But let's just see if I can get it on without wrecking it. There we go. All right, we're in business. I just gotta crank the screw all the way again as I'm lifting it forward, because what this screw is doing with the spring is it's allowing you to adjust the angle of the fog light. And to make it like pretty much straight, which we want, you've got to go pretty far, almost to like the end of the screw. Like you're gonna get right in there. Let's check it. That's pretty good. Would you say that's level? I'd say it's level. All right, we are good. Now let's put on the bracket. Let's see if it fits on the bracket. No problem. Okay, so the passenger side bracket's going to sit like this. So the bumper will be right here, and this is going to go in here, and there's your nut certs right here that are welded on. Not nut certs, but you know what I mean. They're welded on, so the bolts go right into there. So if this is like this, take the actual LED. You got to put that through. I left the plastic on because I do not want to scratch the lenses. So there we go. We'll put these through. There we go. I'll line up all the holes. Okay, holes are lined up. I don't know if you can see that, but they're totally lined up with the brackets provided. So we'll do that. We'll get these bolts all on. So we're going to use these little guys here that are provided in the hardware kit. All right, so you're going to have one little bolt, and this guy right here is tiny. I used, let's see if we can zoom out. There we go. I use that guy. Use that guy to get in that little tiny hole there. So, and then it gives you just a little washer, and then it gives you just a little nut there. There we go. Okay, so without further ado, let's put these on, and of course you're gonna go through the bracket. Start with this guy here. It's the hardest one to get through. There we go. And then you put your washer on top of that. And then finger tighten these, of course. Start these all with finger tightening. You do not want to actually screw those up. So I'm using a 7mm socket. I'm just going to put that on here, and we're just going to get this one started here. There we go. Just so it doesn't move around on us. These are really long screws, so you can go for a bit here. Don't make it completely tight, but just, you know, almost to the spot there, right? Just because you want to have a little bit of freedom, move it around, just in case it's not exactly where you want it. Okay, so then we'll do the diagonal, of course. We'll do the bottom. Get that on. Oops. So I'm using the bottom one here. There we go. Perfect. Washer back on. And then nut. Okay, tighten this back up. And you're just going to do this to the other two. We'll get them all snugged up, and then we will get them all tight and make sure everything's all nice and level before we tighten it up. Just these bolts are so long. They don't need to be that long. Okay. All right. Let's just get all these ready. I'm tired of moving around here. All right. Next.
A few minutes later.
There we go. All right. Oh, those aren't going anywhere. Look at that. So there we go. That's those guys on. Brackets on. It's all pretty good. Not going anywhere. Yep. Good to go. Okay, now it is time for the passenger side LED. Let's get this guy in. It goes just like this. All right. This side way easier than the driver's side. The driver's side was weird because just the top bolt would not go in. It was so weird. Alright, let's get this plastic on. Oh, beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. Daddy-like. Alright. So these ones, it's nice. I can actually finger tighten these. The other ones I could not. They were messed up. So there's passenger side one now in there, nice. Driver's side in there, good. All right, so all that's left now basically is like two things. I got to hook up that fog light wiring, the OEM stuff, and then put the skid plate back on. If I want to wire these LED fog lights too to have halos, I can do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it right now though. I could do that down the road, we'll see. But let's get this wiring harness back on. Okay, so let's hook the adapter back in here. There we go, we're clicked in, we're ready to rock and roll. I believe that goes in here. Yep, there we go. All right. Hook these guys in. Boom. I've got to zip tie all this stuff up. Same thing. We'll just switch the camera over to here. You see me perfect. There we go. So now we're all clipped in. All I have to do now is just zip tie all this cable out of here. All right, so this is my new bumper with my new LEDs. Let's just check these LEDs out. Look how bright those LEDs are. Oh my goodness. They got halos on them too, which is pretty awesome. Whoa, super bright. So bright. Wow, those are so cool. Got those the aux lights, and they are 4-inch, and those are just my oracles on top. But man, I'm telling you, these are awesome. These were not very expensive on Amazon. You can also do them so your signals go on, but I didn't want to do that. Just want just the white without that. Just matches the oracles really nicely. The white is very similar.